Welcome back to Third Phase of Moon. Blake Cousins, thanks for joining us, everybody from around the world. We've got the UFO sightings you've been waiting for tonight. And let me tell you, NASA is up to it again, including SpaceX. What's going on with a recent sighting that happened just earlier today of what looks to be some kind of circular shaped craft that comes into frame, and then all of a sudden NASA cuts the feed. Well, we have this submission who gave us a heads up from the Hidden Underbelly 2.0. Take a look at his special report and his thoughts.
So guys, this was captured during the launch of the Falcon 9, where it was going to be launching some more Starlink satellites. Now this took place today, which is Thursday, January the 6th. And in this footage here, we can see this donut-shaped object that seems to appear. And when we get a good look at it, guess what? The camera cuts to another scene, and then it comes back. Now, I don't believe that this object has disappeared. If you notice here, you can see this white object that is going across. I think that's the donut-shaped object. Now, when we look at this object, it doesn't seem like a satellite. I do not believe that this is any kind of lens flare, because normally we get the different colors in the lens flare. So I'm really stumped on this one. But guys, what do you think? I would really love to hear your opinions.
I want to thank the Hidden Underbelly for giving us a heads up and his analyzation of this video. Again, we're looking at this once again. What could it be? I got my brother here with me, and we're looking at this all together. Guys, I want to get your comments in the chat, because this is quite interesting. We see this donut-shaped craft, as the Hidden Underbelly 2.0 says, but what's crazy is as it comes into frame on the left, they just cut the feed right there. Typical, right when they had a good capture of it. But I'm glad that we have some evidence. And Brent, I want to get your thoughts here. Could this simply be ice crystals?
Yeah, this one's strange. Definitely. Look at this close-up that we're going to get coming up. Look how it kind of materializes into this spherical a donut, people might say. You see it right there. It's wrapping it around, and it makes contact, and everything seems to be moving around it as well. I like the stability on this. Some of these particles that jump off of these craft, or these rockets, they're kind of bouncing all over the place. Now we see this kind of just remaining still. I like the way the Hidden Underbelly kind of speculated as he sees maybe another object that may be this. If this is, that's going to be pretty wild, but we're looking at something that's going to break the news. People are going to be uploading this everywhere because this is a good sighting. And the Hidden Underbelly rocked this. This just happened today, January 6th, and we're looking at it in real time. Could this be ice crystals? I don't know. I've just never seen anything like this.
Absolutely, Brandon. We've seen a lot of ice crystals out there. That's why we don't share it on Third Phase Moon. What we're sharing here right now, as we always do, is a mystery. And right now, I have no idea what it could be, but it is very, very clear that you can see this thing form in a circular shape in frame of the camera. Watch once again. We're going to get a close-up and look at this trail form, this flying saucer. Is there some kind of technology that we're not aware of? Some kind of test in close proximity to SpaceX? Not exactly sure. I don't think also it's any debris coming in.
Cerca. Brian Bonita, imagina qué mierda. Qué puta, del celular no se ve. Vai, tô gravando aí, não se vê. Oxe, é redondo, amor. Vai tomar no cu, Matheus. Agora sim acredito em você.
Vai estar aqui pro lado.
Oxi. Cállate, Miquela. Espera um ratito.
Mas não é só a gente que deve estar vendo. Deve ter um monte de gente.
Teu cu, Matheus. Olha isso. Oxi. Para, Miquela. Bueno, mi amor. Espera un ratito.
All right, let's get a closer shot on whatever was captured in the sky. We see rush hours happening, traffic, it's unbearable, semi-rigs backed up, but what's going on in the sky hanging there that resembles some kind of disc-shaped object, a boomerang, may I call it. It's very bizarre, but you could hear it in the voice from the eyewitnesses within the car that they were shocked. And we have another angle that we're looking at from the same people, proving whatever it is, it's up there. It goes behind the overbridge there, and I'm not seeing any kind of building or anything like that. I think whatever's in the sky here is up there, hovering. Brett, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, definitely not CGI. We don't put that stuff up. What we do is look at good evidence and we share it. We don't know what this is. Could it be, I'm not sure, what, skydivers? I'm not seeing them drop to the ground. They seem to be just staying up there. I like the way the girl got two angles. So this kind of shows that these lights have been up much longer than a parachute or a team falling out of the sky. It seems like, even take a look at this, traffic, I'm thinking, is backing up because of this sighting. Everybody's seeing it, and they're wondering what the hell's going on in the sky. What are these? Could they be drones? Maybe, but this is a good display of UFO activity. It's unidentified. We don't know what it is.
Yeah, I'm looking at this, Brett, and I'd have to say it looks definitely, I'd have to rule out, Brett, drones for sure. But if this is a craft and it's a solid object in the sky, I'd have to estimate this thing to be at least 50 to maybe 100 feet. Again, it's hard to get any kind of perception on this, but I don't see any deception as far as some people want to say this is simply CGI and we put up CGI videos. No, we're sharing you the evidence that's coming in from the public like you that have their eyes on the skies. And again, this came in earlier today. We're trying to figure out what it is. We're all in this together. Guys, you guys have any opinions? I'd like to hear it in the chat and this live premiere, and leave your comments because this remains a mystery. We need to find out. And in my opinion, and that's all I got, is that this resembles a craft that I can't explain. So, speaking of things that we can't explain, there's been a follow-up by Jeremy from Alien Scientist. He did some research about the so-called water guzzler theory. Jeremy was the first one that put that out on Third Phase of Moon and calling us out, saying we're just showing a water guzzler. Well, we asked him to do a little research on it because he wanted to prove his point. Ironically, he found out that it may not be a water guzzler. Watch this.
But there's a mine. Not only do we not have the water guzzlers on the map when I looked up the water guzzlers, and I actually heard back from Bureau of Land Management. So BLM wrote me back and said that I have to contact the property owner or that site owner for more information. So they said basically it's not on Bureau of Land Management land, and they don't know anything about it. So it's kind of did a number on the whole theory that was a water guzzler, and it's also a little bit big to be a water guzzler. It's it's like 100 feet by 100 feet. So this might be a mine, and it kind of actually looks like a mine. This particularly, this looks like a mine. It could be a mine shaft down into the mountain, which is super interesting because hey, where you hide an underground base and an old mine shaft, right? So maybe there is an underground something here. It seems interesting and more plausible now that we have no guzzlers. I mean, might be updated since 2002. They might have put a water guzzler over here. We have to look. We're still doing the research to look on the maps to go back on the dates to see when these two square gray structures were actually built. If they were built after 2002, then that kind of puts the damper on the story that Bob Lazar was there in 1989. But if they were built, in the late 80s, then there might be some, there might be some meat to the story. This is interesting. A mine right here. That is technically on. See, this is the restricted access line. So this is technically on the side of U.S. Air Force, Nellis Air Force Range property, which is interesting. Fascinating. So yeah, guys, keep doing some research, keep digging. Again, maybe it is a water guzzler that's not on the maps, but it's not on BLM land. It's we have to contact the landowner who owns this to find out more information about it. If there is any information on it as a mine, we might be able to find that information on some mining, geology websites and stuff. So I just wanted to give a quick update. I got to go to work. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching, and yeah, let's keep digging into this, because it's certainly a fun mystery. And it would be really cool. It would be really cool if it did turn out to be the real S4 and there's an alien base there. All right.
Absolutely, Jeremy. That would be amazing if this indeed is the S4 base claimed by Bob Lazar. But I think that really doesn't mean anything. In my opinion, what really means a lot is that we have proven, or Jeremy's done some really good work, that he's backtracking his theory that this could be a water guzzler after doing the research, which I give him a lot of respect for, and we're pretty confident that it isn't. But after his investigation so far, his opinion at this moment that it's not a water guzzler, it's not there. So that's interesting. We have to rule that out at this moment. So Brett, what do you make of that?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Jeremy actually found maybe another hidden gem just by doing his research. He says, and maybe what we're looking at is a possible mine shaft. And if that's the case, there's a lot of questions that could be asked into this. Could there be a mine shaft that could go underneath what we're looking at right there? It looks like it could be open. I'm really glad that Jeremy's delving into this deep, and I know everybody else is right now. That's what it's all about, getting the research done. Let's get down to the truth. And what we're looking at is still a mystery. I'm wondering when this was removed, again, the S4 facility, and it hasn't been put back up yet. Still remains a mystery.
That's right, Brent. And I also like what Jeremy stated too, because he seems interested that the fact is that this might be a mine. And what better place to dig an underground facility and saying it's a mine. So this is kind of cool what's going on right here. It's a collaboration between people that want to find out the truth, and we're finding out that indeed we have no evidence that this is a water guzzler under the BLM management. So this is kind of breaking, in my opinion. And also I want to give a big clarification about this S4 facility. It was captured and discovered by Kyle from UFO Proof. And what's crazy is that if you look at this, we're at the Supreme Court in Washington, D.C., and what we want to show you closely is in regards to the government tags that once existed at the S4 facility, according to Google Earth, that the research facility had two government pins, one saying the S4 Research Facility and S4 High Ridge Facility. But what's interesting, people think that it's easy to put pins anywhere. Well, after it's been removed, it doesn't exist. But look at here, the Supreme Court has the exact same pin over there that was once put. So the Supreme Court has the same insignia, and now the S4 Ridge had the exact same insignia. So, man, that proves a lot, in my opinion. That's crazy, the evidence that we're finding out. So, again, people are saying it's really easy to put pins in, but right now it's vacant of any kind of pins in the location. People are trying to put the Thirdphaseofmoon base in there, but we'll see if that's possible. I don't think so, because to have access to a government pin, just like the Supreme Court, I would think that would take some kind of insight from a government employee. Once again, the Supreme Court pin, and comparatively to what's going on at S4, which doesn't exist, this is wild. But I really like that there is a community out there trying to figure out the answers to all our questions. Do these myths exist, as Bob Lazar stated? Well, that's another story. But the fact is, it was listed with the government pin, and now it's gone. Everybody, be safe out there. We'll see you with more evidence and UFO videos coming right up. We'll see you next time.
Let's just go down the rabbit hole here for a second. Let's just assume this is some sort of adversarial or foreign technology.
Most of the more than 120 incidents over the past 2 decades are not from the U.S. military or other advanced U.S. government technology.
It's right in front of me, it just disappears. Disappear. Like gone.
To be clear, he's referring to this giant object as a tic tac, as he said it was shaped like one.
We're in, that we don't know what these things are, and they might even be extraterrestrial. That's worse.